my life, people have always told me, fake it until you make it, or just don't care. And a lot of us have always responded, easier said than done. I know, I was one of them. Why do we care so much about what other people think? We're only chipping away at the surface when there's a whole deeper meaning to all of this. So let's actually learn how to build self-confidence. So these are the video chapter summaries that I'll be discussing about, and let's get started. First is your underlying values and beliefs. We are who we are because of our childhood. So that may include your environment, your people, such as friends and families, or anyone that was kind of in your early stages of life to develop who you are right now. And the way we act in certain situations, the way we think, the way we go about life all stems from that. I had a lot of limiting beliefs about myself and a lot of toxic patterns that I had that I didn't even realize that was actually causing harm to my own future and myself. I used to be very people-pleasing and need other people's validation in order to have validation of myself. So it's good to really have that self-awareness. And since you're watching, you should ask yourself why you have those beliefs and kind of dig deeper as to why. And then you really want to rewire yourself into thinking in a more positive light. So you want to change those bad beliefs into good beliefs. And I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but the more you repeat the words that you're saying to yourself, the more you will act like it. So if you tell yourself constantly that you're really confident and that you're really beautiful and pretty, which you are, you will act that way as your subconscious will believe it. Again, repetition is key, not only in education, but also in bettering yourself, and watch what happens. So next is the difference between internal validation and external validation. So starting out with the external validation, external is your outside forces that validate you, such as your accomplishments and your achievements and what you do. That is important, but not as important as internal. But let me tell you this, do not depend on external validation to get you through during hard times. It does not work. So if you depend on your grades for your validation, recommend you don't do that. Numbers don't define you, your personal worth does. Where you don't lean as much on external forces but more on yourself is definitely keeping promises to yourself. So if you tell yourself, oh, I really want to go to the gym at 7 a.m. in the morning, or let me just read a book every night. When you make these promises to yourself, do them, follow through, and keep doing it. Because promising yourself allows you to trust yourself and believe in yourself to be able to do those tasks. If you can't even trust yourself and you break these promises constantly, and you have very inconsistent habits and very inconsistent actions to what you really want, of course you're not going to trust yourself. Stick to your plan, and trusting yourself is the easiest way to build confidence through external validation. Your future self is waiting for you constantly. So if you really want to do these certain habits or promises, keep it. But giving you physical evidence that you're doing better and you're actually allowing yourself to grow and trust yourself is the best way to literally give you self-confidence. Now, internal validation. So this was a little bit more tricky. So once you did step one and rewire your beliefs and everything, now it's time to really see your own self-worth and self-validation. Everyone is very special and unique. There is no questions about that. You guys have your own special traits, your own talents, and your own characteristics that make you who you are. And you really want to cherish that. I used to not want to be myself, actually a lot of the times. So it's really easy to get lost in social media and being someone that you're not. But trust me, you're great. But anyway, like I said before, repetition is key, and that's when affirmations come into play. I know, it sounds cheesy again. I used to think this was so cringe when I first started doing this. I would literally repeat in my head before I go to sleep 3 things I liked about myself, and my characteristics wise, no accomplishments or achievements, just what I like about myself. And then when I woke up in the morning, I would be like, I am beautiful, I am great, I am really blessed to have another day. Things like that. But if you do it morning and night, I think it's the best time, because that's when your subconscious and stuff, you're still waking up, or you're still kind of going to sleep, so your mind is more at peace and stuff. I know, it sounds so cringe, and it was so uncomfortable when I did it. I was physically cringing when I did it, but trust me, it works. Give it a week and see what happens. Like, I really felt like I transformed into a different person and became so much more self-loving and self-fulfilled. Thirdly, step out of your comfort zone. You will never be comfortable with it if you aren't first uncomfortable with it. I literally learned how to talk to random strangers and approach people and say hi. I learned to eat alone, and I learned how to even like film in public and not be ashamed of it. I used to be the quietest person ever. I really didn't like to talk. And I'm still working on it. I don't talk as much as I want to, but I also just like to conserve my energy a lot. The more you step out, the more you realize it was never that bad. Our brains try to make it seem like it's like the worst thing ever. It's really not. And if you have friends that like judge you and think you're cringy for doing that or just being too much of yourself, I think you need to find better people that don't criticize you for you being you, unless they're trying to challenge you to become a better person. But if they're trying to hinder you from like your success, then they're not your friends. I'd rather be alone than have fake friends around me and criticize me constantly. So again, don't be afraid. You are your own biggest supporter and you are the one living your life. Nobody else is living your life but you. So live for yourself. Do not live for other people. Fourth of all, practicing gratitude every day and being appreciative of the little things. I know I did mention this in my last video, but being appreciative of what you have and what you have to offer. I realize that when I am appreciative of the fact that I'm able to live this life and I'm able to be so self-aware and able to grow and go to college, you may even get to like eat food. So as cheesy as it sounds, I've gotten a lot happier and more fulfilled with myself by appreciating the small things. They tell you all these like crazy things in elementary school, being like, believe in yourself, like be grateful, but they actually relate to your life. I just think a lot of people now, not just adults, have a very like pessimistic belief and outlook and glance over what's right in front of them because they're so stressed out. And I don't blame them. It can be really stressful at times, especially in the real world and having a job and like affording stuff. But appreciating the little things is what like really helps you like mentally be happy. Lastly, one of the top regrets of people is not living the life they wanted to live and being too afraid of people judging them and, you know, all these other things from preventing them from doing what makes them happy. Do not be like these people. Since I was young, I always had this attitude being like, I'd rather know what happens when I try than never try and not know what happened. So go for that job, go for that opportunity, talk to that person, go out to eat alone. All these like small little things will literally make you more confident. Living life is an experience, and an experience that only you can have. Everybody's experiences are very different, so you want to make the best out of yours. Do not be like these people where they regret not living their lives when they had the chance to. Your own fear and your own judgment are holding you back from your biggest potential, and the moment you let that go, you can see how wonderful it really is. As I was editing, I realized I never recorded an outro. But thank you guys so much. I can't believe our second video got 1K views already. Thank you so much for the love and support I have gotten. I loved reading your comments, and I'm glad to be helping all of you guys. So please like and subscribe for the next video. Stay tuned, and bye!